welcome to the United Show. We are live, and we've just seen a 4-1 demolition of Manchester United there against Manchester City in the Manchester Derby. There will be fans absolutely fuming about that. One in the comment section right now, Paul is already saying Ralph Rangnick out, even though the guy is leaving in 13 games. Paul wants him out now. Bobby MUFC is saying players are a joke. Yes, Rangnick is out of his depth, but the players need sacking. Okay, we're joined by Nathan Ellington and Garth. How you doing, Nathan? Silly question.
I'm all good. Expected what I expected. So I'm not even angry. There's no point getting angry because I knew it was coming. I said it from a while ago. It was always going to happen. So, yeah. I'm feeling all right.
All right. We've got in there. We've got someone else in there. I swear to God, I called everything. And we're joined by Garth. How you doing, Garth?
Yeah, it could be better, mate. Yourself?
I'm good. I mean, do you genuinely want me to answer that question right now while we're live on the show? I don't think you do. All right, let's get. First of all, Nathan. What, give us a little summary of the game and all your thoughts on it.
Right. An hour before the game, I looked at the team sheet and I said, listen, what is Rangnick thinking? Like, where's Rashford? Like, this is a game we need to sit deep and get on the attack. He's not there, and I'm thinking, wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out in my head who he's playing where and stuff. I'm like, okay, so is Lingard up front? Or Langer's up front. So Sancho's on the right and Pogba's probably on the left. And then I'm thinking, all right. But all right. And then we start the game and Pogba's up front. And then Bruno's up front. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, how are we going to stretch them with Pogba up front? Or Bruno up front? Are we trying to copy them? Anyway, we start the game. And, it's one of them ones where it's really slow at the beginning. And then all of a sudden, opens up. They continue doing that lovely play. They get the ball out wide. The man comes. Wan-Bissaka has to come out. And someone comes and underlaps and gets the ball every single time. And then they're playing it in the box. And then it's just, you could see they were going to score. They go and get a goal early on. And we're like, wait a minute, we can't keep it tight no more. And then I'm like, bloody hell, we're not going to score. You're sitting there just watching the game thinking, we're not going to do anything. And then Sancho gets it, great, for the first time. And then he's cutting in and gets a nice goal. Great, lovely. I was like, perfect. We're back in the game now. We can then go back to the option one. Drop deep and then somehow hold out until we can bring Rashford on or something. I don't know why I'm hoping so much on Rashford, but at the end of the day, if we were going to win this game, it had to be sit deep, put Fred and McTominay in front of him, and then just get like 3 players with bare pace to go and take them out.
Yeah. Didn't
happen. Soon as they got the 2-1, we lost a little bit more. Then when they got the 3-1, it was good night. It was already, forget it. The boys were like, forget it. We ain't going to win this. Nobody was chasing in bunches. We were just jogging around, letting them olay us all over the place. And you hear Gary Neville going to olay us till the end of the game. And no one's going to even tackle no one and smash anyone into the stand or nothing. That's poor for Man United. But I expected, because Rangnick, it looks like he wanted to go at him. You can't go at Man City. You can't. Not with the
naivety there from a man who thought.
You got Maguire in there.
Think he's being naive there?
Sorry?
Do you think he's being naive there?
Very naive, especially starting Maguire still. Like, I'll never forgive him for this one. The ball comes out, De Gea saves it, and he's facing the ball, and he megs himself on purpose. He lets it go through his legs.
Bad.
And De Bruyne kicks it in.
So bad.
I'm like, did he just do that? And I'm here with my friend. He's a defender. I said, listen, should he be doing that? He goes, no way. He needs to kick that out. Not only kick that out, he needs to smash it out in the stands. Why did he not do it? I don't get it. What's going on? Anyway, enough about that guy. He's just not good enough. I've had enough of saying anything. He's not good enough at all. Nowhere near it.
All right. Garth, give us a quick summary while I go through the comments here. What's your thought?
Yeah, do you know what? I was thought to jot a few notes down. It ended up being about 3 pages long, so I had a bullet point because this game was the epitome of everything wrong with Man United at the moment. Like everything wrong with Man United. But just off the top of my head, De Bruyne, the space we allowed him in between our midfield and defence was a joke all game. McTominay and Fred basically refused to take responsibility to look after him. So I don't know what was going on there. This false nine, whatever we were playing, did not work with the players' personnel we had on the pitch. Like I don't know, you could see that after 10 minutes that weren't working. Exactly what Nathan was saying. Pogba playing through the centre as a false, like it just ain't his game. You know, it just isn't his game. The simple things keep letting us down. Misplacing passes, like Fred, 82 minutes in playing a misplaced ball on the edge of our area. You know what I mean? When we're like, it's so bad. But mainly, Man City, they are so much more comfortable in possession than Man United on the ball, specifically in tight places, getting out of like 2-on-1s, 3-on-1s. So they made Man United look like a lower league team today. It was almost like the last 15 minutes was like watching like a Premier League team like take on a League 2 team and they're already 4-1 up, so they don't want to take the mick. You know what I mean? Like so they play it around the back. It was a joke. Awful performance. Awful game. We're so bad at the moment. I wrote down the last thing I wrote. No, the last one I wrote down was we were both toothless in attack and vulnerable in defence today. And that ain't a combination you want.
Yeah, no, that's not any combination anyone wants.
Yeah. So
definitely.
Mate.
Maguire, I don't understand why he plays anymore. It's actually sad seeing Maguire start every game after making mistake after mistake.
100%.
Varane was injured today, though, wasn't he? So, and I don't think was Bally available.
Yeah. But he's on the bench, mate.
He was on the bench, though, was he? Oh, that's madness.
Yeah, what am I doing on a bench again?
Yeah, you know it. What have I got to do to get a minute here? What have I got to do to get a minute in this team?
What to say? We are rubbish. You can't keep making Harry the scapegoat. He was not our worst player.
Oh, he was close.
No, listen. Nobody
James
said nobody
Bruno
said
was rubbish.
Go on.
Lindelof rubbish. Go on.
Right. Nobody's saying it's all his fault. But when someone makes a stupid mistake like that, you're gonna have to look at it and go, "What are you doing?" You know, there's defending where the other team is just better than you, but then there's defending where the ball comes to you and you make yourself. Like, why would you let it go through your legs? You're facing the goal. The ball's come to you, control it and bang it out. But you don't control it. You let it go through your legs. You turn around and the goal's gone through your legs again, I think, and it's gone in because the player shot the ball through your legs. So you got double megs. One by yourself and one by the player. It's not good enough. It's just not good enough.
And not just that, it's not just this one error. Every match almost, he makes an error like this. Now, it doesn't always lead to a goal, but lets a ball bounce over his head or leaves his man to run in at the back stick. Every week, there's a simple error. This is what I mean. The simple errors we're making. He makes one every game almost. You know, like almost every game.
Garth, please, without me telling you, please tell me about the missed time. You know what? I'm not even going to say anything. Just please talk me through the foul that you made on a certain someone in the second half. Maguire.
Actually,
do you remember?
No.
Do you remember on De Bruyne? It was 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. That could have been
10 minutes later.
Yeah. On a different day, that could have been a red card, mate. You know what I mean? Like, easily.
When do you go in that hard on a player like De Bruyne, that high up, knowing there's no one behind you? You don't do that.
It's frustration.
You go, listen, I can't do that.
He's playing.
Go on.
So he's playing not like inside himself. You hear that, it's a cliche all the time, but he's so worried now about having to look like a £80 million defender. I've been saying this for a while now of him. It must be hard being the world's most expensive defender and being awful's not too harsh a word either, but awful for 12, 18 months. You know what I mean? And now, like that, then he's had a bad game. He wants to get that tackle in. Clear. De Bruyne's been mugging him off all game. He now wants to just show him who's boss, and he can't even do that because he's so. It's bad, man. Like he wasn't the worst player on the pitch today, but he's not been good for a long, long time.
I'm going to get into the other boys.
You've seen it. We're going to go to the player ratings in a sec, but you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen it at every level where a player's having a bad game, and that same player's getting through, and they're thinking, "Do you know what? I'm just going to clamp him." I'm going to absolutely, and then they get that wrong. Usually injure themselves. But that's what Maguire's doing at the moment. That felt like that was just doing there. It's like a last hope. I need to show the fans this is the passion of the team. get it there, got it wrong. Like it happens.
You see, he pushed Foden as well. He pushed Foden after Foden was playing with him, and he was like, "Nah!" He just pushed him.
Are you picking on
After the
Foden?
ball, oh my god! I couldn't
No,
believe
girl
what I
comes
was
out
seeing. I
now,
was like, "Why do you push him for? It's 5 seconds after he's passed the ball." But he just wanted to get him.
Yeah.
It was a bit funny. That was a bit funny. But yeah, we're gonna go ratings, and we're gonna kill everybody that we have to anyway. So don't worry. Don't worry about that, Paul. Yeah.
They're all getting some. They're all every one of them. Don't worry. 1 to 11.
Every player's getting a customary pillow with their rating as well. And they actually battered them today. All right. David De Gea.
You know what? He did the best he could for most of everything he was trying to do. He's trying to distribute the ball as well today. He wasn't just booting it. I noticed at times. One time he did put Lindelof in a bit of trouble, playing it to him a bit short too early while players were about to get him. But apart from that, he did quite well. He made some good saves as well, to be fair. And then the other saves, he can't do nothing about, like the goals. Can't do much about. So for me, give him a 7 for the saves he made. The great saves, actually. To be fair, I can give him a 7. He's actually played well.
He's scored
Wow.
Yeah, he played
4 goals.
Yeah,
he played well. Yeah, you know how many shots they had against us?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And they had shot after shot after shot. But the amount of long range
24 shots, 10 on target.
Did he play bad? Here's the question: did he play bad? Was there any goals that his fault? No. They're not his fault, and he saved shots like that. That could be goals easily on another day. So I think he played well. If I'm looking at his performance, I'm like, not much you can do there, De Gea. You've actually played well. You've actually saved some shots that most keepers won't save, and the goals that have gone in, it's nothing to do with you. So I'm giving it a 7.
All right, Nathan gives a 7. Garth, what are you giving him?
Well, Nathan's talked me round because I had him written down. Nathan's talked me around. I had him at a 5, mate, but I'm going to go 6.
Wow.
Nathan is right. No, I didn't. I did that immediately after the game. I wrote them down, and then you're not thinking straight. If he did make a couple of key saves, it could have been 6 or 7-1 without De Gea. So yeah, but 6 for me. He still conceded 4 goals. I can't go. I know you can say he didn't do anything wrong for him, but yeah, it's a 6 for me.
I won't want a 7. I wouldn't want a 7. I'm giving it back because 4 goals conceded. I'm annoyed.
6 is probably about right anyway. Yeah, I'll give you. Tellez. Look, nothing really happened down this side too much. But to be fair, he didn't really do anything that I was happy with. I'm giving him a 5. I think didn't really provide any. I think Wan-Bissaka did better than him. He was called upon to do a lot more defending than him. Tellez he wasn't poor, but he just wasn't a problem for them. If you get what I mean. When I watched Wan-Bissaka, I was like, yeah, try and take him, but you're not going to take him. And that's what happened. Obviously, he made one mistake, which didn't lead to a goal in the end. But yeah, Tellez 5.
Tellez 5. Garth, Tellez?
Yeah, remember I start on a 5 as well when they come on. Remember that. So Tellez, for me, exactly what Nathan was saying, it wasn't that he played poorly. He was just non-existent on the pitch. And I don't know if that's worse, almost. Like, do you know, like, so I've got him at a 4 for me. He brought nothing to the table today. He's certainly he's the lower end of average, like the lowest end of average for me today. Tellez there 4.
Yeah, it was 4.
Yeah.
And we conceded 4 goals as a defender. That knocks off a point anyway.
No one wants to be called the low end of average. That's like
it was he did nothing wrong. Exactly what Nathan's saying. He did nothing wrong, but he did nothing at all either. So and I think he was at fault for one of the goals as well, weren't he? Like he could have cut the ball out. Was it for the might have even been the first goal? So.
The first goal. I don't. You know what? I think that they just cut us apart. And
they're just so good.
Across.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it was a mad one.
Cheat code. Oh no, Aaron Wan-Bissaka.
I think he got slightly better than Tellez. So obviously, if I'm going to give him a 5, I'm going to give Wan-Bissaka a 6. Because he really did do everything he could do. Everything he was called upon to do, he did. He even he kept the ball under pressure at times as well. To be fair, he only made one mistake where he tried to kick the ball against, I think it was Silva, Bernardo. He won the ball off him, then he tried to kick it out against him, but then he won it again and something happened. But apart from that, he blocked a lot of stuff. He got 1 versus 2 at times, and he still blocked shots. I liked what I saw from him today, and I was very comfortable with Wan-Bissaka of all people. I'm giving him a 6.
All right, Wan-Bissaka gets a 6. I feel like you're gonna have to. I do feel like you have to answer some of these comments in afterwards. So we will come to the comments afterwards. We will come to the comments. 100%. There's some really good statements in there that I feel like the guys need to answer there. Garth, what are you giving Wan-Bissaka?
Yeah, I'm again similar with Nathan. He was the best of the defence for me today, so he goes up 1, which is a 5 for me. But it's still Man United. All our players are the same. He had a couple of very poor misplaced passes. One in particular when we were on the counter and he tried to play it through the centre, and it was just like 20 yards too short. Like, and that's not a Wan-Bissaka thing. That's a Man United as a whole thing at the moment. Like we cannot string 3 passes together. It feels like, you know what I mean. Let alone a free-flowing, complex move that you need to beat someone like Man City. Like it's madness. But yeah, a 5 for me. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, a 5. So,
Harry Maguire.
I'm giving him a 1. I'm not giving him a 1. I'm not giving him a 1.
Heads exploding in the chat.
No. To be fair, for the most part, he won headers when they came into the box. He got some crucial challenges in, so he did okay at times. But obviously, the hard part, where you just want him to defend properly, he did make some glaring problems. I'm giving him a 5, a low 5. It's close to a 4, but I'm giving him a 5 just because he did kind of equalise them stupid mistakes from before. Well, not even equalise, because you should be defending headers, but being that big. But again, I was really upset, but I'm giving him a 5. Maguire deserves a 5 for me today. He's not the same as what Wan-Bissaka did, that's for sure. So he gets a 5.
Right. It's a 5. Garth, Maguire?
For me, it's a 4. Yeah, like I say, you start on a 5. It's a 4. The problem again with Maguire specifically, like I say, is these simple, like we were saying earlier, like these simple mistakes. He's got 1 or 2 in him a game, and it absolutely screws us almost every in some way. Be it an attack breaks down, or he lets someone in on goal, and then it comes down to whether De Gea can save it or not. He needs an extended rest because he's a good player. This is what I want. Like, I am not saying Maguire's rubbish. Maguire isn't rubbish. He's a solid centre back. He's a solid Premier League level centre back. You go that far, yeah. But he's just not Man United level. But
yeah, that's what I mean, and that's the problem.
No, he's not rubbish. He's not Champions League level.
No.
He's not that Champions League slots. Whatever the positions 1 to 4, he's not that. It's just not that. So Leicester, and not being disrespectful, Leicester are a great team. That's like where he should have stayed almost, that level, and he would have elevated Leicester, you know what I mean, instead of bringing down Man United. So
I'm sorry. There's nothing wrong, with look, Harry Maguire is as you said many times, is the most expensive defender of all time, in front of Van Dijk, Lucas Hernandez, Matthias de Ligt, and Laporte, So tell me where those defenders on a weekly basis make the mistakes that Harry Maguire does. Not talking about whether someone saves his ass afterwards. Not talking about whether the goalkeeper saves it. I'm talking about how consistent are these defenders and how often do they make mistakes. They don't. Yeah, it's once in a blue moon. And when Van Dijk makes a mistake, it's like, oh my God, Van Dijk made a mistake. When people score past Van Dijk or drop a shoulder and he goes the wrong way, people are like, oh my God, Van Dijk got done. He is actually human.
Unbelievable,
so have every single right to turn around and scrutinise Harry Maguire as the most expensive defender in the world. You have to be. You've got to be able to do that. You have to be able to do that. I'm sorry. You can't get annoyed by that, man. You can't be getting annoyed by that. Aymeric Laporte, De Ligt, Van Dijk, like Harry Maguire. He's not even in the conversation with those. And that's the problem.
No. In all seriousness, if you were to knock up a top 10 Premier League centre-backs right now, You know what I mean? If he's making it, it's 9 or 10. He definitely ain't breaking down no doors in that top 5 or anything, is he? You know what I mean?
No.
Like, he's a good player, but he's just not Man United level. He just really isn't.
Garth, I was watching one of the other shows, and he was at the bottom of the defenders. All the centre backs in the league,
Is it?
at the bottom of tackles, winning challenges, and all this stuff. I can't believe he's at the bottom of everything. That's not enough. That's statistics against you. Clearly, you are not good enough if you're at the bottom of all them things. You just can't be. No chance will Van Dijk ever be near the bottom on any statistic.
No.
He's not, and I'm hearing that it's not his fault. It's a price tag. Yeah. Who cares about price tags? The reality is, he's at United and he's not good enough for United. Mm-hmm. That's just reality. I don't care if he came for 5 pence or came for 50 million, 80 million, 100 million. If he's good enough, I don't care if he came on a free. He's just not good enough. Simple as that. I don't want to continue on him anyway because he didn't even have the worst of games. So, I just was picking out one problem that was with him in it. So. Crazy. Lindelof was poor today. Didn't really have, again, one of them invisible players today. He was totally invisible today, and it just was easy. It's like, I'd love to play against these two. I just love it because it's like, you're never going to get hurt, really. You're never, that them players that you come up against, you go, I don't want to play against him. He's going to smash me while the ball's not even there. And I'm going to end up getting my feet stood on and he's going to elbow me without the manager looking, or he's going to touch me here and then squeeze me while I'm like, oh, get off me. You don't even do that. They don't make it difficult for the attacking players. He's one of them. He is okay. I'm saying he is an okay defender. But today he was like a 5 as well. He was a 5. What did I give Maguire? 5? Yeah, he's similar to Maguire, to be fair. They're both similar players. Like, most of the defence was the same. I just think along the back, there was a 5, and then Wan-Bissaka probably a 6. So, Garth, I'm guessing it's 4s,
yeah.
and Wan-Bissaka
and a 5. Yeah, it's exactly the same for me. It's exactly the same for me, yeah. And I think you've been saying it for a while now, Nathan, about how limited it makes our team having Maguire and Lindelof at the back. And like, I've noticed it, but not as apparent as today. Like today, it really is. It was so apparent that Scott McTominay and Fred had to basically sit 6 yards in front of them. It was and still De Bruyne was finding all the space he wanted.
Exactly.
Our defense is so bad. That's the stat that worries me, is that David De Gea is the top shot stopper in the league. Like Man United, and by about 12 shots as well, with like 97 or whatever it is compared to the next one. Yeah. It just shows that our defense is leaky. So, and it ain't just Maguire, it's all of them. So,
yeah,
right.
True.
Scott McTominay.
He didn't get near anyone really. He was there. He won a few balls every now and again, but to be fair, it's one of them games where you're just sitting there going, "You played a 5, mate. You're a 5. You start with a 6. You're a 5. You didn't do nothing for me. You didn't really affect the game at all. You played a 5. You're on a 5.
Right.
It's just
5 for McTominay.
It's not good enough.
Garth, McTominay.
If I actually got him as a 5 as well, only because he wasn't as bad as Fred, and I didn't feel like giving Fred a 3. So, yeah, 5. It was again. I didn't realise, just looking back at that, how many non-existent players we had on the pitch today. Because he was nowhere. He did nothing. He come on with a 5 and he did nothing wrong at all. So and that's a nothing game from him. The bare minimum you can expect from a Scott McTominay. Like Nathan was saying, won a couple of balls, drove through the centre a couple of times, didn't make any mistakes. 5. So,
all right. Fred, before we go on, please press that subscribe button. Please press that like button as well. And if you're watching on Facebook, come over to KS1 TV, change your settings so we can see who you are and join in the chat as well. Nathan, Fred.
I think he did okay in certain parts of the game early on. He was trying to be the progressive one a bit, but then he's always going to get them passes where he's completely astray, and you're like, what are you doing? Like, he did that a few times. But overall, I felt he tried to get about. He worked hard as he normally does. He won some challenges. He did kind of feed the ball through at times where it was tight. So I'm going to give him a 5. I'm giving him a 5. I'm not going to go any worse than McTominay. I think he done okay, meaning he done standard, like not good enough as well. But at the same time, he wasn't bad that I thought, Fred, man, what the hell's wrong with you? Like them games where he didn't have one of those. So again, I felt like it was not existent. It was existent, but just very close to non-existent. Very, very close.
I like that.
Very good. I mean, what a compliment. I mean, that's what I strive for.
It's not that I didn't notice you. I just barely noticed you.
Oh, mate.
Just pass through. Fred.
Yeah, for me, Fred. I've got him as a 4 because I started as a 5. I thought Scotty was the better of the two. To be fair, Fred for me is so frustrating with his misplaced passes now. Like it's 5-yarders. It's a joke, and he's almost like one of them players that can do stuff when he hasn't got to think about it. You know, you see there's a few players that I've seen that you think that's how they like. If they've got too much time, it doesn't come off for them. Whereas if it's just off the cuff, he seems to be all right. You know what I mean? But yeah, the misplaced passes are too much. It breaks down our attack so badly. Like I'm saying about the passes, we only score from counter attacks or individual brilliance. That's it. And it all comes through that centre mid is why we have not got a ball playing midfielder that can. And that's not Fred's fault, but like, we haven't got one. But Fred's meant to be doing that job if he's playing an 8. The transition, you know what I mean? Getting that ball into attack, and he didn't today. So yeah, it's a 4 for me. It's a 4.
Did I just see someone say Grealish tore Wan-Bissaka? Is that what I saw?
No, he didn't, did he?
Did I see that? No. He might have passed the ball to someone else when he was overlapped and they got in. But he can't defend both players. He definitely didn't get torn by anyone today.
I asked the panel what they want 2 defensive midfield players against
City. Oh, you want to ask us what we want? 2 defensive. Yeah. To be fair, Fred and McTominay wouldn't have been a problem. But the problem is you got Maguire and Lindelof. It's a bit of a problem. I know not much options, but you've got Bailly sitting there. You've even got Jones there. Jones and Bailly are better than Lindelof and Maguire for me. You know, I'd rather play those 2. And I'd rather properly sit deep, let them have the ball if that's the case. And then I'd have fast players on the top. You can't have 2 players expecting to beat City. 2 quick players, and that's it. Not going to happen. You have to have 3 minimum.
You'd struggle to play a deep line double pivot with no forward as well. I mean, there's 0 outlet, like 0.
Exactly.
You can't do it.
You see what happened? Elanga had to come from deep every time, trying to pace his way all the way up, and they could see it coming a mile away, and it just wasn't enough. You could see as soon as he gets on it, there's no one near him. What's he going to do? Beat everyone?
We did play that today anyway. It may not have been that on paper, but because we were pushed so far back, we were playing. McTominay and Fred were. They're just not good enough to do it. That's the problem. Sitting defensive midfielders and and then the striking situation. I don't know what he was thinking there. I really don't, Ralph. But anyway, we'll get on to that when we get into that. That was a madness.
It is a bit crazy. Paul Pogba.
For me, he's out of position. Playing up front, that false 9 is no good for him. He couldn't drop. He's not going to, chase players. Thing is, when as a team. Some reason I think we got too many players who just can't put the hard yards in. I think it's just impossible for them to do it as a team, and it shows. Man City, everyone's doing it. I swear, Pep doesn't buy anyone who ain't got the hard yards in him. No matter how good they are, if you ain't got the hard yards, get out. You're not playing. What he did to Aguero, remember at the beginning, everyone wanted to let him play, and we're all thinking, but he's the best striker in the league. What the hell are you doing? You work hard for me, or you're not playing. United, so many players. We went 3-1 down. Nobody worked hard. Why can't we shut down as a team? Like, everyone just go. Why not? Pogba, mate, you was out of position. You tried. It just wasn't your day. You got 5 as well, mate. It was a 5. Not good enough for me. And it was not due to... It's not all his fault, because at the end of the day, if he had someone that was making runs that he could see, and then he'll put him in. But he's up front. So he's the one who's going to be getting the ball. And then he can't hold it up because there's no one near him. Fine. What, 5?
Go Pogba.
Yeah, 5. Very brief, exactly the same. Well out of position. Like, well out, not his game. Don't know what we were thinking. There was a number of players that were better suited to that role. If you wanted to do that, even down to like a Matter, if you really wanted to do that role better than I mean, I would have had Rashford there personally, even though he's bang out of form. But that's what we had. So, but yeah, it was like not his fault today, and nothing more he could have really done. That languid style, like his languid style of running, the way he moves, is like. If he's got no one around him to pass the ball, if it's easy to get to Pogba almost because it looks slow because it takes quite a while for it to get to, he's so long. But yeah, I don't know what they're thinking. 5, yeah, what Ralph was thinking. I've got a feeling that Ralph he knows that the league's over now and he's just trying things for when the next manager comes in. Like, 'cause I've seen a couple of weird selections in the team, i.e. Lindelof at right back the other day, and now Pogba with a false 9. Man United, I don't think have ever played a false 9, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if he's just trying different players in different things just to see what he's got, you know what I mean? So
it seems to me you're asking too much from the DMs. Do you think that's the case?
What, win the ball and give it to Red Shirt? I didn't think that was too hard. And then when it has got time to be a bit progressive, see a man through the lines, just pass it. That's all you got to do. Find a man through the lines, and that's not what we do quick enough. I noticed as well. Sorry, go on.
No, I was just thinking, like, no. I think it's just because Man United haven't had a DM that's been like top draw for a few years, it seems like, and that's why you're potentially looking at Fred. Yeah, this is what I mean. You're looking at Fred and looking at McTominay and thinking you're asking too much potentially. Whereas previously you've had a Michael Carrick sitting in there, you've had even an Ander Herrera sitting in there. Someone who can get that ball and pass through the lines and has got a good passing, like a high rate of successful pass rate, whereas you're not quite getting with Fred. And then when it comes to McTominay, the chances are he's going to see that pass there, turn the other way and go for the more simple version.
That's so annoying.
Which then slows down the play. So I think if you had someone like a Kante in there, it'd be completely different. And you wouldn't be saying that you're asking too much. But it's opinions, mate. It's opinions.
It comes back to what Nathan keeps saying. It comes back to those centre backs again, holding back our midfielders. Like, it really does. Like, we wouldn't be asking too much from them if they weren't happy. Exactly what you're saying, Keir, having to do too much because of the deficiencies in our centre back partnerships. There's a vicious circle in
it. Knock-on effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bruno Fernandes.
Definitely not his day at all. I was saying bring Pogba off or bring Bruno off. I didn't know which one to take off because I was thinking, Bruno, you make a mistake after mistake. Pogba, you're not going to be able to move and run. So when we don't have the ball, what's the point you being on the pitch? Bruno, what's the point you being on the pitch? You still keep crossing the ball like a joke. You got all these techers in the world and you dip all your balls. Like, I don't understand. You try to play a cross-field ball. Every single ball is dipped. I'm like, Bruno, you are a top-rate
someone's
player.
got to be having a word. Like, if someone like you could head. You was good in the air, yeah. If someone is dipping that ball before the front post, are you like grabbing him by his ear or having a word and just saying like, sort it out?
I'm gonna slap him. Listen. Seriously, you're sitting there going, why are you getting the first man every time, please? Listen, it's not a free kick. A cross is not a free kick. Stop doing that. You've got to follow through and like kind of get the curl on it. Yeah. Have you seen Trent? Have you seen Bex? These guys cross balls with curl on it and it just stays in the air. And it has to be above your head height, just above head height when it gets into the middle of the pitch. If it's below your waist, it's not good enough.
Yeah.
Flipping heck, mate. Every game. I just can't believe what I'm seeing. Like, Bruno is that good and you've got that bad stuff about you. I don't get it.
Hey, it's not just from that Bruno Fernandes. I see so many players that can't cross the ball. Like they go for that whip, that dip. Like, it doesn't need the dip. Stop it.
So it was like one of them skills that was so like you just used to practice as a kid that now modern coaches you forget you've got to practice crossing still, you know, because it's just a standard footballing ability now. Oh yeah, you can cross. Because look at Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like I keep saying, the fact that he hasn't learned how to put in a half decent ball in 4 years is a madness.
Yeah, it is. Fernandes, what are you getting?
I'm giving him a 5 as well. To be fair, he deserves a 5. He's not getting any more than that from me.
All right, Garth Fernandez.
Yeah, it's a low 5. Yeah, it's a 5. So
Alenga.
but one of the brighter sparks out there, Alanga, but still, I didn't have much to work with. It almost looked like he was struggling for like ball time almost, if you know what I mean. So I've got him at a 5. Again, not his fault. Didn't have much to work with. Yeah, 5 for me.
I'm agreeing with you there because Elanga, he worked hard. He tried his best. He did get on the ball. He did make runs in behind. He did have intent to make the things happen. He did have intent to press people. I don't know why he came off anyway because I thought others should have come off. But I'm giving him a 5 as well, just because of the circumstances of the output. Not due to his hard work. It's the output. It was a 5.
Yeah, it seems to me like Man United they're reaching for some players with some good form at the moment because Alanga, for me, is a player that looked really good in the last game, and if it wasn't for your finishing, you would have smashed Watford.
100%.
Playing. This is a game where Rashford should be starting and playing, but his form has been so poor recently that he's not even got a leg to stand on to be asking for a start at the moment.
True.
So yeah.
It shows us how badly we need a striker as well. This is now worrying me for January. For the summer transfer window because we need reinforcements in a lot of positions. I don't think we can go out and drop 110 on Declan Rice. I really could, because that one player doesn't solve our problems at all.
No, it doesn't. Jadon Sancho got his goal against Man City.
Yeah, he did his thing. You know what it is? He's efficient. Whenever he got the ball, he was doing efficient things, but he didn't get the ball much. So at the end of the day, he would have been the same as everyone else on a 5, but he got his goal. He got a 6. He deserves a 6. He was dangerous as he could have been allowed, and the team wasn't good enough to make him dangerous for the whole game. Dangerous for a few minutes. Got his goal, and he might as well come off from then. 6.
All right, Sancho gets a 6. Garth, Sancho?
Yeah, I've got a man of the match for me out of all the players, if there was such a thing in today's game. 6 for me. He's looking better week by week, and it's now becoming one of the greatest tragedies that I'm getting to watch Jadon Sancho have to play in this Man United team because because he's looking like. If he was playing in a Man City team right now, with the form he's in right now, like you'd be talking about him like he's one of the greatest players to have graced the league. You know what I mean? Because he is phenomenal player. So, but yeah, 6 for me. Did everything he could. Yeah. So,
you know what? I love the way he dribbles. He dribbles leaning that way, so you think he's going to continue going.
Yeah. He puts.
Like,
he
okay,
does.
Where are you going?
Then he could still go that way, and then you think you can second guess him, and it's like, no, see you later. See you later. No, it's good. It's good. He's really good.
Yeah,
I love that.
He's really good. Who we got that came on?
Rashford came on. And
Lingard.
Lingard.
Jay Lings.
Yeah, that was it. Rashford and Lingard.
Jay Lings, yeah.
Rashford?
Again, he's still, obviously, he's just jogging around. I would have liked to see him just sprint everywhere. You know, just coming on for half an hour. Just sprint everywhere. Just do what you, even if you're not going to win it, just sprint and get everyone to run with you or whatever.
Half hour.
I don't know. I know, you've got a long time.
Well, it's half hour in the Manchester derby. Exactly.
Yeah.
So do something. Yeah, and again, you know, he didn't do enough for me. He didn't do anything, really. He got on the ball. You can see he's still low on confidence. But at the end of the day, if he's... I don't know where manager put him on to as well. He seemed to be out on the right more. And we know he can't. He's non-existent on the right at the best of times. When he's on fire, he's non-existent on the right. So why would you put him on the right? I don't know. Put him up front and let him play. When he came on for United, when he first started for us, he was up front. He scored all them goals in a row. He was up front. So why not just let him play up front and let him just hang off the last man? Forget about the hold-up play. Okay, he's never going to be a hold-up player. Who cares? Just run him behind and let's try and find you as much times as we can and just hit the ball in the net and then get some confidence. And then you can slide balls and fake shots and everything after that. Guy with pants today, once again. 5, maybe even a 4. I give him a 4.
Garth, Rashford?
Yeah, 4 for me as well. So I got written down, and Nathan's just reminded me of something else I was thinking about in that game as well. That the way we were playing it up front today, we were letting them rotate. Like Pogba would be out on the left at one point with a Lingard through the centre and Sancho on the right, and then vice versa. That's great if your team's doing well and you can do it. When you're this shot on confidence, like you don't need to be trying these tricks of like you just need to be like getting players to play well in the position they're in already. You know what I mean? That annoyed me seeing that as well. That's what happened with Rashford when he come on. At one point he come on through the centre, and then they're still like. Next thing you know, he's out on the left. Yeah, people need to nail down some positions in this team as well. 100% quick sharps.
Jesse Lingard.
Same. He's a 5 as well. 4 actually. He didn't do anything. Didn't do anything at all. He didn't get a chance to do a damn thing. Didn't really do much. I think Rashford got on it a bit more, but did less with it. Lingard didn't even get on it. So came on with a 5. Came off with a 5. I'm going to give him a 5. Not fair. Give him less than that.
5.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same, bruv. Yeah, exactly the same. For exactly the same reason. You didn't see him. He didn't do nothing wrong. He didn't do nothing to annoy me. So yeah, 5.
All right. Let's quickly go through some of these comments. We have a Fridge playing in defence. We have McDonald's in midfield. We've got a 37-year-old injury-prone striker. Another striker who's on holiday practicing his bow and arrow accuracy.
He ain't wrong. They're not wrong.
You smash that subscribe button. Love these comments.
Not wrong.
Sancho last week. No Sancho last week. New manager can't come quick enough. Paul's had enough of Rangnick. Too much emphasis on centre backs. We are Man United, and our midfield should be able to do more than to protect. Bruno gets a 4 from Paul. Langer gets a 4 from Paul. Game too big.
That one about the defender. That's what we keep saying. Though, is the defence isn't allowing the midfield to do more. When you're playing Maguire and Lindelof together, it restricts that central midfield to do anything more than just protect, and that's the problem. So we're not picking on the centre backs. It's just at the moment that's what's happening with Man United. You know what I mean? So
we'll get to on 5 and 6. If we try and go like that, we'll get to on 5, 6, 7 every week. With them boys at the back, we're just getting protected, and that's why we conceding 1s, 2s, 3s, not 4, 5, 6, and that's the difference. Them boys are not good enough to defend and keep clean sheets week in, week out. They're just not good enough. We know
that. Way off from being the player at Dortmund. Sancho will get there.
Well, that excites me.
Yeah, because you know what? It's not him. It's the players now. Because here's the thing. He's doing the same things he was doing now, but the other players are making it tick. You know, you got Haaland making a run. You got Bellingham who's behind you feeding the ball quick. You've got Royce killing it. You've got all these players who are ballers. Like United ain't balling out. So if you're in a team that's balling out, just like you said earlier, if Sancho's in Man City, you're going to call him the best thing since sliced bread. You're like, oh my gosh, this guy's generational talent. He's this, that, and the other. He's going to be up there with all the best players out there in the world. But because he's at United and we're just totally bang average, that's why he's looking to play his. And we're still giving him his props now because he's playing better. But yeah, earlier on the season, he was finding it struggle because we didn't even move the ball quick. Now, at least, sometimes you get on the ball. So yeah, anyway.
No. And yeah, I mean, Sancho will definitely get to the levels of that he was at Dortmund if he continues this trajectory that he is at Man United. Plus, he's 100% going up against a higher standard player, and no longer playing against people like Raphael Frenberger from Augsburg. He's going up against top defenders in the Premier League. So yeah, it's night.
Yeah, that's what excites me the most about him is sometimes it takes players a long time to adapt. Some players can't. It's only took him a third of a season, and now we're seeing, or like half of a season, and now you're seeing his trajectory. Now he's adapted to the Premier League, and every game I'm watching him now, he's just a little bit better than the game before. He's a little bit more confident. Yeah. He's taking on one more player, or he's having like that shot he had today. He's not having that 4 games into the season. Like he ain't even getting into that position. You know what I mean? So yeah, he's exciting. He's exciting me a lot, to be fair. So it's just a shame, like I said, he's playing in this Man United squad at the moment. So
United have no fight in them, and they don't want to know when the going gets tough. Where's the passion, the playing for Man United? Paul says, if the defensive midfield players who have legs, of course, can protect the centre-backs and get forward. Like, I mean...
Nah. But that's the case. They have got legs. No, Fred's got legs. And this is the thing. He could get forward and leave Bailly and Varane behind. It doesn't matter. But you can't get forward and leave Maguire and Lindelof behind. It's as simple as that. That's what I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say. There, defensive midfielder who have legs, of course, you can protect the centre backs and get forward. You don't need to protect the centre backs because the centre backs can protect themselves. That's the difference. United no longer can protect themselves. They need heavy help. You know what I mean? Heavy backup. Listen, they're coming at us. Help. No. Listen, leave it to us. You go attack. I'll do this. That's what Van Dijk does. That's what Varane does. And that's what Bailly does. I'll take care of this business. What, you got Vardy on me? Come on then, Vardy. Let's race. I don't care. Let's go. That's what you want. Yeah.
I tell you, the times when I felt unbeatable was when I was telling people to have shots at me. Come on. What you got? You'll save it. You'll get in their heads. You're in their heads for the rest of the game now. It's like you don't even want this. And every time they go for the ball, you're like, mate, you don't even want it. You just give up today. You just get in their ear. You've got them now. You've got them. You got them. Exactly. So, I fully agree with that. All right. Thank you, everyone who's joined us today. I'm sure there's a couple of new people in there as well. So make sure you press that subscribe button. Appreciate the support. The chat was buzzing tonight. I love it. Thank you very much for joining us tonight, Garth.
Thanks for having me. Been a pleasure as always.
All right. A couple of big games coming up, I think. Champions League. This is the rough. You've got some savage games, actually. I don't even have to look. We've got
Spurs next in the league game, right?
Yeah. You've got Tottenham, Atletico Madrid, then you've got Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, then you've got Liverpool, Leicester, Everton. Yeah,
I'm going on holiday, lads. Anyone want a 6-week golfing holiday in Portugal or something? You know, just stay well away from this.
Buckle up, mate. Buckle up.
Oh, God.
All right. And of course, thank you for joining us tonight, Nathan.
It's been good.
All right. Yeah, as I always say, hit that like and subscribe button. If you are watching on Facebook, change your settings so we can see you and join us in the chat. Hit that subscribe. Come over to KS1 TV. If you're watching on Twitter, come over to KS1 TV and join the chat. And if you are new to the show on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. All right. Thank you for joining us, everyone. Peace out. Stay safe.